CS Castle.
I was trying to do Spider-Man, actually.
Oh, dude. Well, what if you do Venom on October 20th?
Dude, I need to get a PS5.
You're on the clock, brother. You got 4 days.
Yeah, I might have to get it late because I looked and it was still out of stock in some places, and I'm gonna get it used probably. So
Yeah, you should. I mean, we're going to Oswego next Friday, so
yeah, it doesn't matter.
you should probably wait on that too.
Oh yeah, shit.
I'm pulling a little bit of money together for myself for that, so
Yeah, I forgot about Oswego.
I
God
couldn't
damn it.
drop a. I couldn't drop $800 on a PS5 right now, even if I wanted to.
Dude, but you could play as Venom for one mission. That's what I found out, and that's what made me kind of be like, I'll wait.
Who cares?
When I messaged you at first, I'm like, I need a PS5.
I need this now.
Yeah, no. By the end of it, I was like, okay, one mission. I'm like, no, there's no way they won't let you free roam at the end of the game.
No.
No.
That's too dangerous.
That's you.
In the modern-
you might have some fun
On the
Like,
modern
fucking
game,
watch it.
on the modern game sphere, that's too dangerous. Honestly.
Anything fun? No. They should have like fucking those mod trainer things where you could change everything in the game just through a menu. They just unlock that at the end of the game if it's single player.
Yeah, why not?
Just
It's an
let you
open-
control the game. Fuck
It's
it.
an open world sandbox with a specialized physics engine. Let them play around. Fuck it.
Like GTA 5, fucking I have a mod menu that pops up. I'm like, all right, turn off cops. Let me just fuck around without finding out. All right? I don't want that.
I don't want to fuck around and find out.
I don't want to find
I
out
just wanna
anything.
fuck around and not know anything.
I
wanna-
want to that guy that doesn't find out anything.
I want to fuck around and be ignorant.
Let's go. That's the best life to do it, you know?
Yeah.
That's like most of the environment. They
Yeah.
don't find out anything.
No. In other game news, CS:GO, more like CS gone. Remember how Overwatch 2 came out and then Blizzard was like, yeah, no, Overwatch 1 is gone and it's Overwatch 2 now.
Yeah, yeah.
The source engine switch is happening for CS:GO, and now it's CS2,
yeah.
Counter-Strike 2,
I have CS2.
and CS:GO is gone.
Well, okay, yeah. It updates over your current copy of CS:GO.
Yes.
But
And
can't
people
you
do not like it.
Can't you run the beta like options on Steam? You could do a drop-down menu on every game you have and click on a different update.
I'm just following a report I heard from somebody else and giving it to
Yeah.
you as a person who played Counter-Strike.
I have
Global
thousands
Offensive.
of hours. Yeah.
That's why I just figured I would pass
Yeah.
that along.
Um,
In other bad video game news, actually, you have an opinion on that. You said a little
CS:GO 2 is pretty good. It's the same thing as the other one. It's just missing some maps and features. So that really blows.
Yeah.
Like Arms Race, it's like the gun game of CS:GO. Not there. Jumping Scouts, not there. That's where
Damn.
you have like low gravity, but you're all like fucking with snipers.
Ooh.
So like if you jump, you commit to that jump, and it's just people could track you in the sky. That's pretty sick.
30 Seconds to Mars no scope music videos
Yeah.
back from 2007.
CS2 is fucking. It feels smooth. I like
Yeah.
how it plays. It is different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm way worse at CS2 than Global Offensive. Somehow, it's the same fucking game, but they changed the tick rate. The tick rate of how fast the server checks your pings on what you're doing in a game.
Mm.
So now it's better,
Ooh.
and I'm used to the older rate of it checking. So now I'm worse. It's better, and I'm worse. That's the fucked up part.
Well, you are older.
Yeah,
As
I
you get
did
older, a lot of
tell me that.
nerve endings die.
Don't tell me that.
You know, I found out something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Just a little side tangent. We'll get back to video
Okay,
games in
okay.
a second here, folks. I found out something pretty interesting about taste buds the other day. I found out as you get older, taste buds die more frequently and do not regenerate than other cells in your body. And so when people are like connoisseurs about like wine or whiskey and stuff, and why kids like sweets more than adults, is because kids have more receptors for things that have more savory, umami, stuff like that they're less likely to like because they're not
so they'd be
as good.
more prone to being picky.
Yes.
That's
So
why the saying is like, oh, when you get older, you'll like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
You'll taste it less. You'll
Yeah.
like it.
so people who spend a lot of time being connoisseurs of tasting things
Yeah.
and say that they have better taste literally have less taste
Damn.
than other people.
We should hire
than
children.
other
to
younger
taste
people.
things.
Yes. We should be giving children wine
You should
to be
age
taste
out of
testers.
being a taster at 10.
I think more like 30.
Watch out, wine tasters.
I think more like 30. I think wine tasting should be a 9-year maximum.
10.
profession.
I bet when you're at 10, you're at the peak.
Well, on average, I wonder what the age of that would be.
Actually, on a tangent from your tangent, I heard the same thing about a different part of your body.
Ooh.
About your eyes.
Oh.
Now,
What about them?
be it I saw on a short from a guy that, I don't know, he seems to be reputable, whatever. He said that from the time you were a kid to now, or like into your 20s, or even further, colors just look duller. So if things looked more vibrant, well, you're a little colorblind, but you would still probably experience that. Some of our memories of how things used to look like are just literally different because we can't absorb those colors the same.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense.
And I thought about it. And then when I'm wearing the red glasses that I have, they make certain colors more vibrant. I'm like, oh, dude, this feels nostalgic somehow. Like, even though I didn't see
because your red receptors were deeper at the time.
Yeah,
so
and I'm like,
it
holy
would pop
fuck.
out more.
Like, the red leaves look exactly how I remember them when I was a kid. But it's not by much, but
No.
still a little fade on it. Ooh. That's
Anyway,
interesting.
back to video games.
The CSGO thing, let me put a pin in, not put a pin, let me
Take the pin out.
Yeah, take the pin out and flip the page at the end here.
Stabbing a book.
Yeah.
Instead of using a bookmark, taking a clothespin and stabbing it at the page you're reading so that the cover, we like flip it back on and it makes that little lip wherever the head of the pin is.
I like to hole punch my books.
On the dot, on the period where I left off, so I know exactly where on the page I stopped
there.
reading.
No
matter what the consequences are of that for the other pages behind it.
Fuck no, I'll find out later.
Honestly, if it's a thick enough book with like a hardcover, you probably wouldn't be able to push it all the way down. You'd have to use like a mallet or something to get it all the way down to the head.
It's like, yeah.
And then you'd have to stop using the pin after a while when you made it like 3/4 of the way through the book, because then
You
you'd
need
just be
like
hammering into the table.
You can't use like a thumbtack. You need like a flat pin.
Yeah, you need like
Yeah.
one of those clothespins. With,
thumbtack?
a clothespin with like one of the little ball ends.
Yeah, or like not even. There's some flat end ones.
Yeah.
Because like a push pin would just be ridiculous. Half your book would be open. Especially if you finished on a sentence that's in the middle of the book.
Oh my
like
gosh.
Near the crease. Oh no, that's a problem.
You're going to hell. Now
Yeah.
for doing that. It's a sin against
God
the
damn.
libraries.
Imagine.
Sorry,
Imagine that
you
rough
took a
mom.
pin out to turn a page,
Yeah.
which now has a hole in it.
That's the whole for the next couple of
About-
chapters. So yeah, if we pause in the middle of CS:GO 2, it's pretty good, but missing a lot of things. So I get why people are upset, and it probably for a lot of people feels worse because the way the ping rate, or not the ping rate, fucking
refresh rate.
it's not refresh. They had a different name. Is it just a polling rate? Changed. It went from 60 as a default for CSGO to 120, but it's like a continuous 120, so you don't feel individual frames in the lag. Which you didn't really feel when it was 60, but they changed it. A lot of people are struggling. That's tough.
That makes sense.
And then there's no way you can go back. I'm almost 100% sure. Maybe the next podcast I'll put a pin in this chapter again and come back to it. But I'm pretty sure, like most Valve games,
you'd have to read books in like 2 sittings at most. Otherwise, you're just stabbing entire fucking like if you stop at like halfway through a page regularly,
Yeah.
you would just have like a big. There'd just be birdshot in the middle of your book, basically.
like sometimes it is what it is, and I feel like those pages would get stuck together because of how they fold when you stab them. And then you'd be like, "What the fuck happened? I went from this page and then he's dead on the next one. Like, what happened? Oh, I have to peel them apart because I made it stuck together.
Because I did it. I
God
did
damn
that.
it. Like, why do people do this? Oh, nobody does. This.
Nobody does. I'm just stupid.
I'm pretty sure there's a drop-down menu where you could look at old betas or old updates, and you could just go back. But it's gonna be like 3% of people that will do that.
Yeah,
Because those servers are gonna be dead.
of course.
Like, you can go back. There's probably gonna be like 20 people, most of them in Korea, or Russia,
Probably Russia.
and then you're just gonna be playing high-paying fucking CS. So. At least they didn't do the nuclear option, where all your skins that you invested money into vanished in the new one.
Oh,
People would kill themselves. Actually,
Yeah.
there'd be the suicide rate. It'd be like fucking 2008 all over again. It
I would argue more like the height of the Mongolian Empire, where the temperature of the planet drops.
I know 2 people with a $5,000 CS:GO inventories.
That's like an NFT.
Yeah,
That's essentially an NFT.
and it fluctuates like an NFT and stock markets. So I've seen their inventories go as high as 10,000 from like a $3,000 investment. It
Oh
goes
my
up and
gosh.
down just based on the popularity of CS:GO.
All right. Wow. Okay.
So yeah, it's scary, but I think you could fix it.
Yeah,
if
well-
you want to.
speaking of bad things in video game news, the
No more video games next year. They
no more video
deleted-
games next year. The Unity devs put out a press release.
Oh, an update on this. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything.
They
about
put
it.
out a press
is
release
all new.
saying we're not doing that actually, and the CFO got fired.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Not like there was massive reputational damage done and anything going forward it has to be transferred to a different engine because there's no shot that people are going to trust them again. Yay, all of our games are just back on.
Okay.
So yeah, no, just kidding. There will probably still be another full year's gap for upcoming big releases that would run on Unity because not a chance in hell most reliable devs are going to be like, yeah, we can trust what's going on there.
How long ago was the first news of Unity doing that?
Around a month.
Around a month?
Mid-September, I think.
I'm willing to bet there's gonna be a small, rough gap by next year of indie games on being on different engines, or maybe just because companies had to adjust and swap entirely. Because a lot of people probably started development on something else to avoid Unity.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. So we're gonna get a lot of games in Unreal, I'm sure.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Unreal's happening.
Yeah.
Or companies are just going to start developing. They're gonna the sink that they're gonna make financially is to develop their own engine.
No.
I think big
doubt it.
enough indie dev studios can get away with it, like especially if they already made a popular indie
If you
game.
had like a AA.5 company,
Yep.
that would be
Or
it.
maybe like a triple B studio or triple C studio.
Yeah.
Smaller like New Blood Interactive is not making a new engine just so that they can put out Orco all the way, and the people
no.
who made Hollow Knight not making a new engine.
Fucking look at like Bethesda. They don't want to make any engines.
No,
They made one and they're done with it because that shit is awful.
it's terrible. Well, also Bethesda's just cheap and terrible, but that's a
Fucking-
whole other can of worms.
CD Projekt Red, instead of making a new engine, they're like, we're gonna smash the Witcher engine to pieces to make Cyberpunk work,
Yes.
and it barely worked, and it's working good now. But like, holy fuck, if they did all that to avoid making a new engine, I doubt there's a lot of companies making their fucking Hollow Knight engine. Okay,
No, yeah,
They're not doing
No,
that,
it's
dude.
not happening. But it's
I think there's just new developers working on new engines, which is gonna take a while.
it's a slim chance alternative, but in my opinion, it's equally likely to all the other outcomes. Aside from just swapping to like Unreal and just taking the one-time publishing cost rather than the
The
fucking
one-time publishing cost is sick.
yeah, the Unity fucking
I don't,
install fee.
I don't
Gay.
Think, I don't think I see many like platformers or anything come out of Unreal.
Hmm.
Was Ori and the Blind Forest Unreal? That might have been.
I think so.
Yeah, that might have been the only. But that's not even fully two-dimensional.
I don't know. Unreal was just better at rendering faces in the 7th gen, but
It
that
is.
is long gone.
It's Unreal, the new one, the fucking 4. Was it? what
It's
are they?
Unreal 5.
It's
We're on
Unreal
Unreal
5?
5, yeah.
I think they were like teasing 5.5. Oh, it does insane things.
It's ridiculous.
It's the AI-powered like generation for it is insane. Generating forests through it is crazy.
All right, final video game topic I'll bring up here for this week's thing is a media recap.
Okay. Yeah.
I have had a roller coaster of a week emotionally,
Okay.
but the thing that I did most that I want to talk about is consume media like a young person these days. So this is the most relatable episode. I think
Consume
we've ever
media.
done. Yeah, I must look at images on my phone.
I
need
love
to.
looking at pictures on my phone, dude. That is my favorite thing
Honestly, yeah.
to do. I could do it all day. I've
Oh.
done it all day.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
On
good.
last Monday, I did do it all day.
It makes me so good.
But
Feels so good. It makes me so good. It doesn't make me good.
video game media consumption. Final point.
Yeah.
The Game Awards are shortly around the corner. The holiday season is beginning. At the time of recording, it is Monday, October 16th right now, which means in 3 weeks, holiday season is happening.
Let's go.
No more games are being released.
Yeah, we're done. Video games
We're
are
done.
over.
Video games stop being released on 2 days before Halloween because they everybody saw that one episode of South Park where they're like, "Okay, kids, go get your Xboxes," and then millions are dead. But with that all being said, I still have Baldur's Gate 3.
You have to finish it still.
I don't think I even need to finish it. I am looking for the way out of Act 1, and it is still the game of the year.
You're in Act 1.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole big recap.
We're not doing Baldur's Gate Hour.
But basically, Act 1 is finished. The last thing I have to do, I did the Grove fight. I have Halsin in my camp. I'm not going to use him in my party. I don't want a druid. But the quest line is now find either the corrupted road.
Camp in Act 1?
Huh?
Oh, nothing. I'm about to... Never mind. Go on.
The find the corrupted road to get to the Night Song or the Moonrise Towers, or find a way to the Underdark.
Yeah.
My plan is that I'm going to stampede the entire Goblin camp now that I'm higher level.
Okay.
And I'm just prepping to do that, so I haven't touched the game in a while. But as far as my experience with it, it's better than any game I've played this year, except for Final Fantasy 16. But Final Fantasy 16 was so much limited because of the scope of the fact that it's just an action game, and it also stretched itself among 60 hours. So it's like the high points and the low points were like very few and far between, where it's like Baldur's Gate 3, everything is kind of like a midpoint, but you choose which ones you want, and that makes the high points out of it, because you're never going to get a bad experience out of it unless you just roll shitty. Anyway, I did, in my latest sit down of it, I decided to plug my Afterglow controller into my laptop and see what that was like. And I discovered something that genuinely lowers the game score for me by a whole point on an out of 10 scale.
Whole point. All right.
And
this might be a debate. It might not be.
It's going to be a debate because this is, I know what I'm about to say.
Because I have a big complaint.
Is very petty. But I need you to hear me out on this.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So I plugged the controller in. I wanted to feel the scroll wheel and everything. And
you get to walk around in third person.
Walking around in third person, using the thumbstick instead of clicking to move.
Yep.
There's a lot of quality of life features that the controller offers that feel very different. And it's that is up to a personal preference. It doesn't actually do anything different in terms of how the game works, except using a controller. Like when you're using keyboard and mouse, if you press Alt to highlight everything in your range that is collectible, when you use a controller and it does that little pulse to show you everything, for some reason, only on the controller, will you see the status of chests, crates, and barrels and drawers.
The status?
If they're empty or not. Before you go and investigate them. Because some of them, a lot of them in this game, are just set dressing. They're always empty. They don't do anything. You can't even
So I do a
them
thing
up.
of like, click, empty, exit, click, exit, click, exit. Oh, I have a thing in this
The controller will show you what's in everything you can go and collect.
Yeah.
And then you can highlight it with your right stick and then press A or X or whatever controller you're using and go and press it and pick it up. Highlight the next item, do that over and over again. I prefer the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, but
but you can't see that. You have to hover over everything, highlight over everything, and it's...
I don't know if that would take a whole point for me, but
The fact that there's no way of seeing that with the keyboard and mouse is such a ridiculous oversight, in my opinion, that I do not want to use the controller.
Here is how, if I was working for the PR team of Valerian, the Baldur's Gate dev, the way I'd say it is, on PC, it's not as hard of a hassle to search every chest, because it feels like searching. On a controller, imagine clicking on every chest.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be hell. So they kind of did that.
But
I never thought about the chest that hard.
But the left Alt already highlights everything that can be inspected in your area. So it seems like a massive oversight to not just... Because all it is a chest icon. Yeah. It's the closed or open chest icon. that I saw other people playing with it, and it gave you that little scroll wheel, especially for spells and stuff. I wanted to see how Gale felt with it, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it very much. And I'm not complaining about how
The
it works
scroll wheel,
because it's
you
just
have to like set up the scroll
it's just a
wheel, too.
personal. It's like
Yeah.
the controller style is just a personal choice, so it's not something I can complain about because I do like how it feels on mouse and keyboard. It made me feel like, fucking Magica did this better, dude.
Yeah.
Like, as an isometric camera game of a party of spellcasters, Magica did this way better. But
it's like I don't know. It's kind of hard to do that many spells.
it just made me feel like I was playing like fantasy Mass Effect, but worse. But
Yeah.
it wasn't worse because it's like trying to be Mass Effect. It's just like the controller experience felt like that. That's all I'm complaining about. Moving on, unless you have anything to say about that.
No, I mostly agree. I don't think it would just take a whole point away from me. Like I played it on the Steam Deck quite a bit. I'm like, I don't want to get my PC. I'm just gonna lay in bed tonight and just play in my bed. So the Steam Deck has the controller things. I really like just walking around in third person. That is sick. Where it's not like you're clicking to where you want to go. You actually just walk there.
Yeah.
Actually, I wish it was on the keyboard like that. Like I wish it was just like that on the
It
keyboard.
is a little absurd to me that WASD is not what controls your character.
Yeah, and it's still the problem of like I wish the camera could let you look further than you're seeing.
Yep.
That is also a fucking big issue for me. I'm like, my character could see that. The wheel thing. It's just the only thing is like I don't spend enough time on the keyboard to invest in that. Like if it was my only option was to play on console, then yeah, it would probably be fine if I got used to it. Because you can customize each wheel. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
could set
yeah.
a wheel for like healing spells, a wheel for this, a wheel for this. I didn't care, so I just kind of let it be a mess, and that frustrated me beyond belief. But it let me do a lot of smaller side quests while I was in bed before getting on my PC and doing the main story, which was pretty sick. This game is still like a 9.5 for me.
Oh, I discovered a hack with shopkeepers or people who whatever the title for people who sell you items, traders. Just a massive
Okay.
scam
Oh.
that the freedom of the ability to do this makes it. All right, so I got feign death on one of my guys,
Yeah.
and feign death. Do you know what it does? Do you know exactly what it does?
I've never used it. I have it.
What feign death does is it allows you to cast a fake like knockout. It makes
Right.
it makes somebody you are allied with or one of your party members. Allied is important here. It makes them forcibly knocked out. They still have full health and everything, and they're fine, but they're just unusable for a set period of turns or time, I guess. And it stops enemies from attacking them. So if you don't want to have someone who's low on health have to roll death saves, you can cast feign death on them to just knock them out of the fight, and they won't be aggroed by enemies. I discovered that you can give traders, when you go into the bartering menu with them or whatever, all of your gold or all of whatever you want to give them to make them very happy with you, and this gives them the ally tag, which means you can then use feign death on them,
Oh no.
and they will forcibly be knocked out until however long you want. And if you're in a non-hostile area, other people can see you do this, and they just don't care
because
because they're like, oh,
it's not an
just their
aggressive
ally.
spell.
No, because it's like if you hit your own party, if you start combat by hitting your own party
Yeah,
members,
that'd be a problem, I guess.
like other people if you're in the Grove, right,
Yeah.
in the first act, and you accidentally shoot your own party member with an arrow, other people who are your allies don't start combat with you because they're like, oh, you're a traitor. Like, if you have the ally tag with somebody, you're basically immune. So you can knock them out and then just go into their menu and steal all their shit. And when they wake up, they still have the friends category or the tag of ally, and they're still happy with you because you gave them all their money. They don't even notice.
Oh my god.
And I discovered that by just playing around because I had
That is a massive
I just got
oversight.
some excess spells.
I don't think I've ever actually seen that.
It did start combat for me in the Goblin camp because they're all like kind of iffy.
Was it like the yellow circles around them or
It was just I did it to the fucking When you go in the goblin camp,
Yeah.
past Gut, and then go to the left, there's that little halfling wearing yellow, and then there's some weird bitch next to her. And I did that, and then the fucking weird bitch guarding the door started trying to fight me. So I non-lethal attacked her and knocked her ass down. But that was fun. It was fun to do. Anyway, I'm talking too much about Baldur's Gate again.
I was about to say. That's a quick last note. I'm on like a lot of, I almost said Borderlands, Baldur's Gate's subreddits and stuff. I have not heard about that exploit yet.
It's incredible.
There was a chest in Baldur's Gate where you could just repeatedly do that because the guy that you give the money to, his chest is behind him.
Yep.
You could just keep taking the money out, and it's easy because there's no vision cones that see you do it. I saw people do that. No one mentioned Feign Death. I don't think anyone's used Feign Death in the game.
Oh, it has its uses. I think because my brain is rogue, like I roleplay so hard that my brain is rogue guy who commits crimes.
Yeah.
When I play like nice, talkative, charismatic fellow who's also secretly a little bit evil. I think because my brain does that, I look for all the possible exploits that a rogue could have, and then that takes away from my ability to like be a wizard very well. So I probably am not doing things very good with like Gale, but
that's the
but
problem.
I'm doing things very well with my guy.
That's the problem with having a whole party to control.
Yeah.
You're not playing well to your whole party.
Mm-hmm. Changing gears.
Yep. Not to make it the Baldur's Gate podcast.
Changing gears, like Malcolm said that one time, flipping somebody's transmission so you have 5 gears of reverse.
Let's go. We're going into reverse, baby driver.
You have one shoot left with me. I put my fucking clothes for the video in the back seat back here. You have this Thursday to get this game done because I'm getting a fucking haircut, dude.
I need a haircut as well.
I am not putting this off any longer. You can't make me do it. I need a haircut, and I need to I need to book the Airbnb for myself for when we go to Oswego. So that's gonna be a financial thing that I need to do, and I want to do it on the same day so I don't have to fucking remember it, and that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
So you have Thursday, dude. Do not fucking drag this out any longer. This is going to be the 5th shoot.
We need to film the game.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we need to do.
And then we can make the drinks off camera.
I don't think that part of it matters. We need to do the game.
Let's make the drinks once we're shaved. Like, we could just recreate them on video.
Okay, sure.
We'll just have to do that.
Media recap time. What? Before I get into this, how's your week been? What have you been doing this week? Because I'm about to talk about a lot of movies and TV for a little bit.
I'm checking the weather for Thursday.
Oh, thanks for doing that on the show.
Well, now I'm concerned. We have a deadline. All right, Thursday. No rain, hopefully. 8% rain. This week, I don't know, the week flew by. It's only been Monday.
No, I meant like since when's the last time we hung out? Like last Saturday?
Just lots of editing. That's about it.
All right. Fair enough.
I didn't take note of much. Probably other things, just didn't care for them.
Okay. I have seen some stuff this week, and I would like to talk about it.
Cam has seen a vagina for the first time.
Don't you try to corrupt my audience by talking them into thinking that I have sex. Don't do that.
Okay, he's heard of a vagina.
I don't even know what that is.
He doesn't know.
What I have seen is movies and television, mostly movies. Last Monday was Columbus Day, and I had a day off from work, and all of my gym stuff was closed.
What you do to celebrate? Kill any natives?
If there were any natives around me, I would have slaughtered them.
Let's go. Wear their ears as necklaces, baby.
I spent all day on Monday in bed on Netflix watching stuff because I figured I don't have anything else to do. I don't have any plans. Most of the other people I know were working, and I didn't feel like driving around doing stuff.
Could have been completing Baldur's Gate, but no.
I don't want to always play Baldur's Gate.
No, you have to always play Baldur's Gate, man.
I
don't understand.
Stop putting your feelings and addictions on me like we're the same person. It doesn't work, and it's never funny, okay?
I don't understand, and you're wrong at the same time.
Okay, well, you're dumb and wrong and gay, Boots. Shut up. Anyway, I
not just say
watched first number one. I watched Dune. Dune got put on Netflix, and I watched it.
Okay.
And I gotta say,
It's bad. Is it bad?
no, it's awesome.
Oh, fuck.
But I think I had to talk to some family members about it in the past couple days, and I'm coming to the conclusion that I enjoy things in a very different way than most other people do. Dune was a great watch for me, and the things that I liked about it, other people received to be kind of strange, I gotta say.
Oh, okay.
Number one for me is this movie has an all-star cast, and none of them are wasted.
Okay.
It's got fucking Batista. It's got Drax in it. He's the main villain.
The Marvel man.
It's got Marvel Man, and he also fights DC Man, Jason Momoa,
Holy
Aquaman.
shit. The crossover.
Yeah, Jason Momoa
That's
is the
crazy.
mentor character, and Marvel bad guy man Josh Brolin
Holy shit.
is another mentor character, and fucking Fox Marvel bad guy man Oscar Isaac is the main character's dad.
Oscar Isaac. Didn't he play Moon Knight in the
He played Moon Knight
Yeah.
and a bunch of other people.
Pyramid Man? Pyramid Man versus
Pyramid
Water
Man.
Boy versus muscle wrestler Marvel guy.
And then, of course, the twink of the talk of the town, the twink of the week, Timothy Chalamet was the lead.
Iron Man.
Timothy Chalamet's performance in this movie is very, very flat.
So was it like Dusty Oppenheimer with all the celebrities?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Because
I thi-
Oppenheimer has a crazy cast.
Yeah, Dusty Oppenheimer. No, it's closer to it's closer to Breaking Bad than Oppenheimer, honestly.
Damn.
You haven't seen Dune, right?
I've seen 20 minutes of it,
Okay.
and that is what I'm basing my whole judgment on.
The movie is actually I think you would benefit from watching it with someone who has seen it, like me or somebody
Maybe.
else.
I'd do it
Because
a rewatch.
it's actually a fun movie. That's well worth it. But Timothy Chalamet as the main character, Paul, he's just like a geeky little teenager guy. And I found that to be so like compelling and convincing as a guy who's forced on like the hero's journey. Because everybody tells him he's like the chosen one, but he's just like a guy who's like, I kind of want to finish high school, and then I want to figure out what's going on with me, because I don't really know what I want to do with my life. And
Okay.
It's a sci-fi. It has some sci-fi elements. Obviously, it's like it's 8,000 years in the future, and there's intergalactic travel and stuff. And shield technology has gotten so good that they don't need guns anymore. But it's not like it doesn't go too deep into the it does a lot of show don't tell and doesn't go too deep into the like weird mysticism, because there's some fucking there's some barbaric mystic bullshit. Like Timothy Chalamet's mom is part of what 20 minutes did you see of it? Did you see the first 20 minutes?
No, I didn't see the beginning. I just joined a call and they were all watching it.
Oh, all right.
And I joined in and I sat there and I'm like, ooh, these are the worst parts of Blade Runner. All right, I'm out.
Fuck, there is some long exposure shit in it.
I'm like, ooh, this is the part of Blade Runner where our boy is looking at bees for a bit. And I'm like, I don't like this.
That is, you know what? There is a lot of that, but it's done differently.
All right.
Anyway, Timothy Chalamet's his mom is part of this like weird cult tribe of witches, this like family of witch people, and they have this like superpower kind of that I think, I haven't read the book, me personally, but I know a lot of people who have, and it seems to be described as like it's just if you change the pitch of your voice correctly, it's like it resonates with somebody's brain, like phrenology, and commands them to do things. But the way that it's compelled in the movie in an auditory fashion is that it has this weird like vocal effect on it that Hans Zimmer does very well. But
Damn, so like
That's-
Skyrim, I mean Star Wars.
Skyrim Wars, yeah.
Sky Wars.
It's
Up Wars.
that is the only like fucking Star Wars The Force bullshit
Okay.
in the entirety of the film, aside from the reason they're on the desert planet in the first place is this like it's just called spice, but it's like it's a hallucinogenic drug, pretty
Let's
much.
go, dude.
And so the hallucinogen effects, they're kind of portrayed like magic, but it's not. It just does stuff to your brain like regular drugs. Long movie, 2.5 hours, and it feels won't have any patience, but I got myself to sit through it and I really enjoyed it. And it wasn't what I thought it was, and that was number one. Number two on my media world tour here, I watched the new Castlevania, also on Netflix, also on the same day. And this one, I've got some fucking complaints about.
I know nothing about it, so I will be useless.
Well, don't put the mic down. Just still react to what I'm saying.
I will.
So you haven't watched the first Castlevania on Netflix?
I have nothing. I don't know anything about it. So yeah.
Luckily for you, you don't need to know anything about it.
Okay, so it's nothing like the property?
It is based on the lore of the property, but it uses a lot more like historical crutches than shit from the games, because the first like 4 seasons of Castlevania follow Trevor Belmont, who is from...
This one's based on the Civil War, actually.
Well, no, this new one's based on the French Revolution. Close,
okay.
But no cigar.
This one's based on the Ukraine
50 years
Ukraine-Russia
too
war.
Trevor Belmont was a character from like the fucking SNES Castlevanias, where they didn't do a lot of characterization for him. So they take a lot of liberties with how he's written, and it feels more like a TV show or an adaptation of like a book than it does shit about the video game. You don't actually have to play like the early Castlevanias to know what's going on in the first like Netflix seasons of it. But they're doing the like timeline thing, like down the timeline, and they had a different Belmont for this new Castlevania called Castlevania Nocturne. And this one, Richter, he is from the very beginning of the most popular Castlevania game, Symphony of the Night, which is the one where the famous meme of Dracula throwing his goblet down and going, "What is a man but a little miserable pile of secrets?" And then he's also from one that came out only in Japan. But they take a lot of liberties in the show, and it is reliant almost entirely on historical incorrectness. So, spoiler warning for Castlevania Nocturne. If you're listening to this in the near future and you don't want spoilers, skip a decent amount ahead.
Walter White dies.
Walter White dies at the end of Castlevania Nocturne. So the show begins. I'm just going to spoil it for you because I don't think you'll be interested in it. And if you do watch Castlevania, you'll forget about this conversation by the time you get to that. The beginning, it just cuts in. It's America, Boston, 1780. It's right after the Revolutionary War. And this little kid and his mom are walking down the docks. And he's like, "I don't want to go to France to live with my aunt. She doesn't hunt vampires. My Mom, you're way cooler than my aunt. You hunt vampires." And then his mom's like, "I'm very sorry, but you can't hunt vampires. You're 10 years old. You have to go." And as soon as the kid says no, the mother is immediately validated because a cloud of smoke appears in front of them and forms into a human figure, which turns into this vampire who fights the mom and kills her. And then the kid's like, "Oh, fuck, dude, I gotta go to France. This sucks." And then it fast forwards like 13 years or something like that when he's like 19 or 23 or something. And now he's the badass Richter Belmont from the video games.
I freaking hate vampires.
He freaking hates vampires.
Damn, dude.
And he's out in the woods with this group of children. Me is not doing well. My mom is too poor to pay her taxes. Vive la France, the revolution is on. And then a bunch of vampires show up to kill them for being part of the French Revolution. And Richter's like, "No, I don't think so." And he does his cool anime stuff and he kills them. And that's the first episode, and I'm like, all right, sick. I really like this. 7 more to go. I think it's going to be pretty good. Episode 2 comes on, and another attack happens of Castlevania enemies, and their mom, they're about to die and lose from the ambush. All the creatures get fucking shivved in the head by a big metal spike, and so the ones who live kind of just fly away. And it is revealed that the people who save them are 2 black people from fucking not Saint Bernard. They're from an island in the Caribbean that just went through like the Haitian Revolution and killed all the slave masters, who, by the way, were vampires.
Wow.
So white
Big.
people actually never did anything wrong, and it was actually vampires the whole time.
Damn, dude, that's what the Civil War was about?
It was about vampires.
Holy shit, does make it full circle. They're pulling strings here, man.
They went pretty liberal on this.
9/11 was done by vampires. Well, did you know?
So
George Bush was a vampire,
So-
and he did it.
he did it.
He loved to suck blood out of little boys
Hillary
On-
Clinton might be a vampire.
on Vampire Island, a.k.a. Epstein's Island.
Is Jeffrey Epstein secretly Vlad Dracula Tepesh from
He's-
Castlevania?
Vampire suck man. Secretly.
No, black people come to save the day. And by the way, they're in France in 1783.
Black people in France, that's fiction.
That's super
That
fiction.
is fan fiction.
A lot of people like to think, especially like European liberals who are like, oh, it took Americans an extra 20 years to end slavery. Unlike us, we abolished it because we didn't have an economy
We
revolving around it.
abolished black people.
Yeah, they abolished black people and sent them away. And then they're acting like, oh, because they abolished slavery before the Americas, that meant that racial equality had been achieved instantly. And these black people just walk around 1783 France or 1793 France like it's willy-nilly, like it's fucking New York City today. And it's no problem. And that huge issue with me. But it's also a fucking cartoon about vampires, so I can let a little bit slide. What I can't let slide is the characterization of these black characters. The one of them is like a fucking light-skinned mulatto guy with blue eyes, and he's an opera singer. He was never
Okay.
born as a slave, but like his whole thing is that he serves white people anyway because
Wow.
he can be an informant for the Underground Railroad in Haiti or wherever they're from. And then the other black girl was born a slave, and she fucking went through the slave revolts and burned the island down and killed the vampires, except for her master. And now they're here to help with the real story in Castlevania Nocturne, only on Netflix. But they're cunts. They're just useless. The opera singer black guy dies in 1 episode, and he gets turned into a vampire zombie by the bad guys. And then the black girl's whole character arc is, I failed again. I have to redeem my past. But while she's doing that, every time she's talking to our main characters, she's the most insufferable bitch on planet fucking Earth. And I try to throw my internal racism out the window and be like, it's a cartoon, dude. Just they're taking liberties, whatever. Her characterization is just bad. I hated her more than Skylar White. And I would throw a parade in the celebration of hating Skylar White. It was horrendous. I'm thinking about fucking doing an edit of the show that just takes her out of every scene she's in, because the rest of it is phenomenal. The narrative is awesome. The character designs, the animation, the soundtrack, the character arcs for the actual Castlevania characters who aren't original to the show, incredible. I had a great time. Minus this secondary character who takes up like half the fucking runtime, who's just completely insufferable. And if you guys who are listening know anything about Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, somebody else shows up at the end of the show. I won't say who. And it leaves off at a cliffhanger when they show up. And so we get to wait for season 2 on that because it got
Professor Snape. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
kills
he
Dumbledore.
kills vampire Dumbledore.
Yeah, it is insane. And then
Yeah.
Harry Potter goes, "What?" And then Malfoy,
You're a vampire, Harry.
Malfoy goes, and then the
And-
next movie happens, and we don't know.
But it's a flashback, and Hagrid goes, "You're a vampire, Harry."
Fucking watch it.
I don't know that Castlevania. I'm only talking about this because I've tried to get you to watch the first Castlevanias on Netflix because they're genuinely very good and they don't have a lot of the problems that this new one has. And I would hope that one day, knowing that you don't actually have to know jack shit about the franchise, you can just get into it and watch it because it's a fucking television show on Netflix and not like a tie-in movie for a video game.
Maybe
It's interesting and it's
Now-
charismatic and it's fun.
it would have to sell me on the idea of vampires. I just don't like the idea of vampires. To
Why
begin
not?
with.
What do you not like about vampires?
They're gay.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know.
They go around sucking and fucking, and I don't want any part of it.
I think that's just Twilight. I think
That's Twilight. And then anytime they appear in anything, I'm like,
All right. Well, okay.
Well,
So
like even the one movie where they're like in Antarctica and they're like, it's gonna be these many days of dark, and then vampires come out and they take over the town. I'm like, cool idea. Still don't like how they look. Their fangy faces, stupid.
okay.
So it's a hard sell. That's a
Maybe
hard
in
sell.
animation it'll look a little bit better to you.
Maybe.
Well, here, let me give you the first season of Netflix's Castlevania.
Now,
is
Skyrim sold me on vampires. All right.
the one you can't marry.
Yeah.
The first 4 episodes are the first season of Netflix's Castlevania, and it was like a little teaser. So it won't be a huge spoiler to sell you on this if you ever decide to watch it, but it is a good like two-sided story because Dracula, the big vampire of all time, top 10 vampires ever, number 1.
The first one.
Number 1 will shock you. It's
He
Vlad Dracula.
invented vampires. He was the guy. He's like, we should do vampires.
Yeah, honestly, he thought of that and then he patented it and then made $1 bajillion.
He's like, what's good? What are we missing? Vampire.
Dracula.
Stamp that shit. Mr. Patton.
Stop interrupting me, please. I'm really trying to get this out, and you
Sorry.
just keep saying little things. Dracula in the beginning of the show is approached by a human woman who wants to learn medicine from him because he has a bunch of scientific equipment and stuff because he's not affiliated with the church. And this happens, this first part of the story takes place during the Dark Ages. So the church is controlling all of that part of Europe, and they're like, science is the devil and it's bad. And this woman approaches him, and she's a doctor. And so she learns real good medicine from him. And he likes how bold she is to just walk up to his big vampire castle and ask for some help. So he makes her his wife, and it's really cute. And then 1 episode later, they burn her at the stake.
Cute.
And he's like, he shows up in, kill my wife? I'm going to sick all of the second circle of hell on you now. You have about 1 day to leave this place, and then you're going to die.
That's pretty epic. He gave him warning like Israel to Hamas.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
And
Just
then
day one
And then
murder.
the Iron Dome collapsed upon the fucking town
weird.
of Wallachia, Romania, in like 1423 or whenever it takes
too
place.
soon, man.
And then fucking the Belmonts come in, the vampire hunters come in, and they have to go on a little adventure, and it's really cute, and they're facing insurmountable odds. But the vampires in the show, there's a lot of them. They're like a whole army. They're the whole B side of the show. And they're not like the gay suck and fuck ones from like Twilight.
Suck fuckers.
They're not the gay suck fuckers from Twilight you don't like. They're an actual like society of people who operate under their own rules. They have their own strengths and weaknesses. They have like technology and magic that's exclusive to them. It feels like a fucking really good narrative that you'd want like in an open world video game where you could choose which side to take because they're both equally as compelling, and the powers that they have are kind of like randomly assorted based on like what part of the world they're from. It's not like vampires kind of just a catch-all term for people who can't go in the sun. Some of them turn into smoke. Some of them turn into dragons. Some of them turn into little bats and fly away. And some of them have like laser eyes. Like it means a lot of different things.
Now I haven't seen it. I like the idea of him showing up and wreaking wrath on the fucking area after his wife died.
If we could watch just the first 2 episodes of it, I think
Maybe.
you'd be sold on the entire.
That's
Whether or not you'd be sold on the entirety would be decided on that because
maybe whenever we do a movie night, every now and then we do movie nights, we share some wild movies together. Like, up next, Kung Fu Panda. Crazy. Fucking, we're unearthing that one. That's no one's heard of it. I just remembered that I actually kind of liked about vampires is I Am Legend. Not the Will Smith one. I heard about the book. Did you read the book?
I did not read the book, but
No.
I know the synopsis of
But
it.
I know the rough idea, and I like the concept of the human being the legend to the vampires.
Yes.
Where he's like, there's a vampire society that just exists, and it's the flip on it, like, being like, yo, there's Dracula, or there's a vampire that's the evil legend that people talk about. It's like the guy that walks around in the day and fucking murders vampires. That's a cool concept. I kind of like that. But I don't like that for the vampire concept, I don't think. I just like it for the monster legend concept. But depending on how the show's presented, it'd be good.
It's I genuinely think you'd like it, and I would be
I'll
interested
give it
in watching
my
it with you.
best shot.
This one I haven't seen, but since we're just on the topic of vampires, I think there's a movie coming out in the next few days called the Last Voyage of the Demeter or the Demeter. Have you heard of this?
No.
I didn't know what it was when I first saw a trailer of it, which is it's a bunch of people go on like a transcontinental boat in like 1750 or whatever.
Damn. Count me out.
And I'm supposed to be the bigot of the show. They get on a boat and they're like, this boat has great evil on it, and then
has trans people on it.
It has Dracula.
I'm just
on
kidding. Comedy podcast. What's up?
It's from
I'm gonna say the N-word in 2 minutes.
The N-word will be real in 3, 2, 1.
No, I said 2 minutes.
Okay.
Clearly, black people can't count. Oh god. All right, that was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Dementor. That's the thing from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
There's
It's actually from. I didn't know this when I first saw a trailer for it, but it's actually from this really good book I read about. It was like the first expansion of like the Dracula story that wasn't from the Bram Stoker thing.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the whole story, it's literally like one chapter of the book because it's about some side characters. Because like Dracula goes to America. That's the whole story.
Damn, it's like
where it's like
fucking the Borat.
Yeah, kind of. My blood.
That'd be crazy. It was found footage.
Yeah, they get Dracula goes in his little coffin, and they need to like transport like some dirt from Transylvania because that contains some of his power, is like the fear people have of where he lives.
Damn, dirt powers.
But then halfway through the journey, he gets a little bit thirsty. So he needs to open that fucking coffin up and start feeding on some people.
Is this a movie?
The basis of the story is from the book that I read, but they're making a movie out of it, and it's coming out very soon.
Does the whole story take place on a boat? Because that'd be sick.
The entirety of the story in the movie is this boat ride. Yeah.
That sounds like a sick
it's a horror movie because it's from the human's perspective.
Oh,
when they figure out that they're stuck on the fucking boat with Dracula.
Yeah.
And I hope they adapt it to the end exactly how it's told in the book.
Isn't a book all the way like just across the journey, and then maybe at the end they get to the shore? Or
no, the boat makes it because Dracula. Dracula needs to go to America for something. But the end of it's literally one chapter of the book. It's a tiny little piece. It's like a Stephen King level story.
He can't be the Atlantic Dracula, right?
No,
there's not much blood unless he becomes a really good fisherman.
Yeah, no. And he doesn't even want that. He wants
that's
prime versions.
Fucking gay.
Yeah, he's one of the. He's not one of them gay sucking fuckers.
No,
he's straight.
He ain't no sucking.
Straight blowing.
He's blowing dudes straight. Dude.
What's the opposite of fuck? Like
rape.
Chast? Oh.
He's one of them rape bloodmen.
Rape bloodmen. That's the name of my Dark Urge in fucking Baldur's Gate 3 is Rape Bloodman.
Rape blood-man. That's my favorite book.
That's my fucking least favorite Mega Man boss is Rape Bloodman.
Dude, I hate getting that level. It makes me uncomfortable. Dude, what the fuck?
What happened to this game, dude? Mega Man 3 has this weird part where everything is like a robot cyber future, and then one of it is just like a fucking scary dungeon with a rape guy at the
It's
end.
just a raper, man, and it just ends. You can't beat him. And
You
then
can't fucking beat him. You just get molested.
And then your address pops up on the screen, and you're like, what the fuck?
Don't go to sleep tonight.
If you sleep, I fuck. And then it's like, that's the message, and your console dies. But yeah, Dracula he's not sucking or fucking no squids or nothing.
No.
I doubt it. He needs to get to America.
Yeah.
To fuck that. I don't know.
The book ends in a pretty fucking wild way. Like the last guy who survives, he just straps himself he can see the shore.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm gonna fucking die.
Does he turn into the hero then?
No. He ties himself to the steering wheel of the ship so that it follows the sail path and makes it to the shore.
Yeah.
Because he's like the captain or whatever.
Damn. Does it end there or?
That's where I think the movie's gonna end because that's where the story.
That's where I'd assume.
If the movie is about the human perspective of that part of the book, then it's not going to end. It's not going to keep going after Dracula makes it to America and start focusing on him. It's going to be a horror movie about these people trying not to die to Dracula, but they're going to fucking die to Dracula because they don't have anywhere to go. It's a boat in the middle of the ocean in 1750.
Yeah, you can't go down the street.
And I'm kind of interested in seeing that, but I think it's going to be super reliant on visual effects. If you watch a trailer for it, Dracula kind of looks like an impish demon guy instead of like a human, because that's his like feeding form or whatever is like his hibernating form.
When he's hungry.
He is described that way in the book. I do remember it, but it is a little bit off-putting. It's not like what you would think of Dracula. Lastly, on the media recap of the week.
Quick note on what you just said. I think it'd be interesting to see that movie from his perspective.
About him waking up like really delirious and tired and being like, oh fuck, I'm in the imp demon form. Shit.
And then he has to solve
I need some drink now.
He gets out and he's like, fuck, I gotta suck and fuck now.
I guess I gotta be one of those sucking fuckers.
And then
I won't do it gay style.
And him trying to solve the suck and fuck problems and how to kill and suck.
The suck and fuck problems.
The suck and fuck problems. That'd be kind of sick to see the bad guy's point of view solving shit. It's like not the Quiet Place, whatever. The one other one where the blind guy murders people. The sequel.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what it was called. Where you just follow the villain for the second
Something
film.
Quiet.
I don't know, yeah.
It's literally called like Be Quiet or something.
It's probably like Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe,
Don't Breathe. Yeah.
That's analogous to Be Quiet, right?
Be quiet. Be quiet.
Well, he's a blind guy, and he hears things really well, so you have to be quiet.
Big voice.
Hey, what's your name? No. Mischief or Cusser? Mischief Castle! Lastly, on the media recap.
How much porn did you watch?
Not a lot. I don't do a lot of that. What I did watch was an actual horror movie for the first time in a long time.
A natural horror movie?
An actual horror movie.
Okay.
A natural horror movie. Yeah, I went
out
out into the woods in the dark in a national park.
I thought you watched Animal Planet while real high.
No, I'm not one of those animal guys.
You're not one of them animal people, man.
I went to the theaters and saw the new Exorcist movie.
Okay, was it good?
I don't know.
Oh.
So I'm going to describe this Exorcist movie, by the way.
Iron Man dies.
Iron Man dies. He gets killed by Snape at the end of Castlevania Nocturne, only on Netflix. In theaters now, it's The Exorcist.
And Dumbledore is Mr. Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm. He says, "You're a cook now, Harry."
Say my name.
Dumbledore. You're goddamn right. No, so here, I'll describe the movie to you from my point of view as I watched it.
Yeah, sure.
You don't care to see this movie, right?
I probably won't, yeah.
Okay, so the spoilers for this movie.
A movie a year.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I'll describe it to you, and then you decide whether I liked it or not based on how I'm talking about it, because I don't know if I liked it or not.
All right.
So, I can't get the word Castlevania out of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
The Exorcist, this new one, I forgot what its subtitle is, but it opens up.
Edge Runners.
The Exorcist Edge Runners opens up with some black people in Haiti. And
Okay.
I'm like, what?
They're taking some creative liberties with this.
I was going to say, I was in the theaters. I looked at the person I was there with, and I was like, what? This is not where I thought. I didn't see any trailers for the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the...
I haven't
seen
seen a single one.
I was just compelled to go because somebody else was interested in it. It opens up with some black people in Haiti. And it's a woman, and it's a black woman, and she's pregnant. She's pregnant. But she's walking around the beach in Haiti. And, they're like, oh, this place is so beautiful. I love it. By the way, the camera work and editing in this beginning sequence, amateurish. Terrible. I laughed out loud at just the camera work for this sequence. And then about a minute in, a little black child and his compatriots run up to this pregnant lady on the beach in Haiti. They're black. And he grabs her hand and he says in like Haitian French Creole, he's like, I would like to show you something. I bring you to this woman. She going to give blessings to your baby. And he like rubs her belly. And then they run through the streets, and there's this really weird sequence where like the camera is like looking through holes in stuff as they run around to get to this place. Like they're on the other side of like a bookcase or whatever, looking between books as this thing happens. And then this voodoo woman and the kids that brought the pregnant lady there do this voodoo magic spell to give like a blessing to this kid. And then the lady's husband comes up. He's like, you didn't do that voodoo bullshit, did you? And she's like, I did. I'm sorry. And then immediately a building falls on them.
Cool.
And I remember that the subtitle said Haiti 2010, and they included the actual like 5.0 earthquake that happened in Haiti at the time.
Holy shit.
And a building falls on this woman, and that is God's punishment to her for doing voodoo on her soon-to-be baby, I guess.
Damn, I didn't know that's what the real cause of that earthquake was.
Actually,
That's
not a lot of people know that. But
that's a fun little
the new
fact.
Exorcist opened my eyes.
Oh, fuck.
So the husband runs in to the collapsed building, and he goes up a couple stairs, and he sees that there's no more stairs. And then he looks to the right, and he's like, oh, there's the stairs. They're on my wife. And he's like, wife, please. And then the audio cuts out, and she like mouths something at him.
Okay.
And then it cuts to like an emergency hospital or like an emergency relief station. And I know he's supposed to be a doctor in this scene, but it is very clearly just a Haitian guy in regular clothes with only a lab coat on, no stethoscope, no badge, no fucking sterile gloves. And he comes up, and he has a little translator with him, and the husband's freaking out, and the doctor's like, we can... Your wife has sustained life-threatening wounds. We can save her, or we can save the baby. We can only save one. And the guy, he grabs his hair, and he's like, no, dude, fuck. And then we get 13 years later. And he's in
the wife.
He's in Georgia or whatever. Nope. The guy
Why?
The guy wakes up.
That's a bad choice.
He's
got a
making-
bad ending.
The guy wakes up. He's making some breakfast, and he's like, Petunia or whatever the fuck her name is, like Natalie, we got to go to school. Come on, time for school. And the girl comes down. And she's this little fucking 13-year-old black girl or whatever.
He turned his wife into a 13-year-old.
And
That's
yeah, I know
offensive.
he fucking he
That's-
de-aged his wife with voodoo.
that's crazy. We could either save your wife or turn her into a little girl.
Like fucking RoboCop.
and
It's
he's like, I've always wanted to try out being a pedophile.
no, he's like, we can save your wife, but only with fucking leftover parts from
Your
dead
daughter.
children.
We could transplant the brain, but that's about it.
Like fucking RoboCop, dude. Like, we can build her back better. And by better, we mean 20 years younger.
Oh my god. And his math was off, so she's 12. And he's like, fuck, I didn't really think
Shit!
this out.
I
And
should
it's
have used the
like-
calculator app on my iPhone too. Or
And then he's like, fuck, is this unethical? I shouldn't tell anybody about this, but that's
no.
technically my wife.
no, he doesn't fuck his 13-year-old daughter.
That'd be a different movie. That'd be
he gets her ready for school.
a dramatic movie.
He gets her ready for school. He brings her to school.
My 13-year-old wife.
I'm sure there's some anime where that's like the whole thing.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like you can find that somewhere. It just won't be an American
Oh,
production.
fuck no.
What was I saying? You've really derailed my train of thought here.
I gotta pee.
Okay, you really destroyed my brain with the pedophile wife thing.
He said time for school.
Yeah, he said time for school. He gets her out. There's a cute little shot where they do an establishing, like a character establishment where they go to the car, and then the neighbor's like, hey, little girl, tell your dad I'll see him at the gym later. And then the fucking neighbor's
And
like,
the dad's like, how do you know my daughter?
no. It's are you fucking my pedophile wife too?
That's
No.
fucking weird.
And then the neighbor's like, hey, black guy, are you going to leave your fucking trash cans in the driveway all week? It's like, it's called trash day's over. Put him back. And then they go to school, and he's in the line of cars to drop his daughter off. And then there's a second character establishment with this like white family of 5 dropping their kids off at middle school as well.
Oh my God.
This white family has a daughter as well. Her name's like Caitlin or something stupid and white like that. And she gets out of the car. She like fucking argues with her little brother or something. And then this white girl goes up to the main black guy's car and says hi to him and gets the daughter out, and they're best friends. That's their establishment. And then the black guy goes to work, and then it cuts back to the kids at school, and the black girl and the white girl they're talking about something, and then they're in class, and the black girl's like talking to a girl who's in a desk behind her, and they're whispering something. Like the audience doesn't know what they're saying.
Incantations.
They're whispering something, and the audience doesn't know what they're saying. And then the black girl and the white girl, they're looking at each other, and they nod, and they have a little plan. And the audience does not know what this plan is. But what the audience does know is that the other third black girl knows what the plan is.
She's about to use her melanin powers.
Her melanin magic. She's about to do Haitian voodoo in America, which is illegal.
It's banned. It's been banned.
It's been banned. By the federal government, not even like the Catholic Church or anything.
Since the earthquake, it was like, ooh, Obama was like,
my
no.
fellow Americans, you saw what had happened? You saw what Haitian voodoo melon magic causes.
No, thank you.
No, thank you on that. No. So school ends, and then the black girl and the white girl, they walk out into the woods together. And they're just having fun, playing around. By the way, all this that I'm saying is like the first 20 or 30 minutes of the movie is establishment. And it's kind of slow paced. And
I'm beginning to where you're going to cover the whole movie, and that's going to be stressful.
Honestly, it's kind of cute and quaint, and I really liked the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
And then as soon as the girls walk into the woods, very interesting things start to happen. So during the establishment earlier, the girl went up to the attic. The black girl went up to the attic and stole the fucking mom's mementos or whatever, or all the stuff that the dad kept. And then he took it back and he's like, hey, that stuff's mine and it's important. Don't touch it. So when the girls go into the woods, fucking the white girl's like, here, so basically you just pull out this locket and you wave it and hypnotize yourself. And then you have a item that connects you to the dead person or whatever. And you just start talking to them. And they go into this like little well. They come up to this like square, like cement cut hole in the ground and take their shoes off and jump down into it. And it's like a fucking well or like a sewer thing or something. And then
speak to the dead. That's crazy.
They do like, it's like supposed to be like a little cute thing. And then next cut is the black dad comes home and he's like, fuck, my daughter's not here. So he calls the white family. Like, he goes into the school registry and then calls the school and then calls the fucking white family from that. And he's like, hey, my daughter said she was going to be studying at your house. Is she still over there? Because it's like 10 p.m. and she's not home. And they're like, no, my daughter said that she was going to be at fucking the other black girl's house from the establishing shot in the school.
Oh, fuck.
And then
imagine if that's what they said.
Yeah. Yeah, if that was the script and I read it word for word just now. So they cut immediately to the police station. The whole town's in an uproar. The daughters are missing. Everybody's like, what the fuck are we going to do, dude? This is ridiculous. And the white family, they go to church, and they're like, God's looking out for us. And the black dad, he's like, I don't believe in God because he killed my wife in Haiti. And the girls are gone for like 15, 20 minutes of the movie's runtime, but it's like 3 days in reality. And then they finally get back. They're found. It's the shot is like it cuts to some farm out in the rain, and it's like a fucking farmer dad's on a tractor, and it's like stuck. And he's like, hey, son, who's also in the shot, go run in the barn and get the thing to use the tool to get my tractor unstuck. So he fucking books it back to the barn, opens the doors, go past all the animals, and then he starts looking in this closet, and he unveils the 2 girls, and they're all fucked up and dehydrated and shit and scared and cold.
Okay.
And he turns around, he's like, Dad! Dad! And they go to the hospital, and then they run a bunch of tests on the girls, and they're like, I mean, their stories are aligned. They said they walked in the woods, got lost, and then just kept walking until they found that barn. And they said it only felt like 30 minutes, and something traumatic might have happened to them, but we can't unveil it from any of their physical signs. And they start like, during the medical examinations, they start showing us shit, and it's like, ooh, what the fuck is that? Their feet are all fucked up. Their eyes are really sunken in. They start doing like prosthetics and makeup on them. The black girl, like her stomach has a bunch of like cuts and scrape marks on it, like something with really long nails, almost like she got mauled by like a bear. Like, knowing that the movie's about something supernatural,
Yeah.
but it shows you shit of like they escaped like a mauling. Super intriguing when I was watching it in real time. And then
I don't remember any of this in the original.
I think this is a direct sequel to the original.
Oh, it's a sequel. All right. I thought it was going to be a remake.
No, it's not a remake. It's not a remake. So the girls go home. They're like, we don't know what the fuck is wrong with them, but give them some penicillin and wash their feet and whatever. They start acting really creepy and weird, and the power starts flickering on and off all of a sudden. And then 20 minutes of them building up being weird later, they bring him back to the hospital. They check him into they check the black daughter into the mental institution or something because she's going crazy. And the white family's like, no, we'll use the power of Jesus Christ. Like, no. And she's like, not having it because there's a demon in her. And then she makes a big stink in the middle of the pews or whatever. And they're like, fuck it. Put her in the institution with the other girl.
Fuck it. Shoot her with a gun.
Shoot her. Kill him.
Kill him. I don't like it. No, I don't like it. She made a stinky.
And the white wife is on point, and she's immediately like, Ted, these are signs of demonic possession. Something happened in those woods. And then the black dad comes in because he's also in the scene outside of this insane asylum, and he's like, so you're telling me that they went out into the woods, did a satanic ritual, and encountered a demon? And the writing of that is stupid, but it frames them in doing the incantation, and it does this really cool thing with the camera where it flips because they're in they're in like a foot of water, so their reflection is pretty good. So it flips through the water and then comes back to the original shot, and in the reflection there's like a fucking demon lady around the little girl, and I'm like, ooh, what the fuck is that? That's kind of cool. I like the things that this movie sets up. I almost want it to be like a fucking supernatural thriller or like action movie or something where somebody's got to go John Wick their way through hell to get their daughter back. It does a lot of interesting shit visually, and then it just becomes a cheesy horror movie. So they're like, fuck it, we figured it out. It's demonic possession. And then they go through all their resources to get the exorcism going, and it becomes the Exorcism 2 Castlevania. And they bring in the original mom from the original 1980s or whatever exorcism movie, and she says, exorcism is very dangerous, and you need to get the official Catholic Church trademark rights reserved involved in this. And she gets her eyes stabbed out by one of the girls because they didn't get the Catholic Church involved. And then she gets booted out of the movie. And they do an exorcism, and some bullshit happens. And during the exorcism, they start bringing in some visual effects. And I'm like, ooh, what the fuck is this? This is kind of cool. Are they going to explore this? And then they never do. And then the exorcism ends, and one of the girls dies, and one of them doesn't. And they're like, yay, the day is saved, and we all believe in God now. Goodbye.
Oh, no.
So I don't know if I like that movie or not, because there's a lot of things that I really liked. There's a lot of really cool shots. There's a lot of really cool effects, practical and digital. There's a lot of really cool character moments and world building and stuff that goes on. And then the rest of it is like fucking cheesy C-tier horror movie. And it's like, it's not average, because it's like there's really high highs and really low lows. And I think there needs to be like a different metric aside from hitting the median and being like, yeah, it's a 5.
It just, from the description, strikes me as kind of corny horror. Not in the most extreme senses that you would imagine from like old B-movie corny horror. It strikes me as like early Conjuring movies, up until the last one. I like the last Conjuring movie a lot. I think I like that one a lot.
That universe has gotten so big, I don't even know what is the last one
and
anymore.
the Insidious movie, that one blew fucking massive cock. Most of them blew massive cock, but they had a lot of really cool moments. I'm like, oh, they're going to do something cool with this. It's like, no, they're just going to do what you expect them to do with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, all right. Oh, no, the makeup's shit. All right, never mind. Fuck all that. There's a thing. This is a cool setup. Oh, fuck, I love this because I hate it. And it's like, oh, okay, it pays off with it. Okay.
Like did you see the Babadook? Remember the Babadook?
Yeah.
It was this like independent Australian horror movie about the fucking kids book. That whole movie had none of the problems that I'm talking about, except for like the last minute where it reveals the Babadook, like it shows it visually instead of it just being this like background element that's haunting this kid and making him go crazy. And it's just a fucking guy in a hat with some sunken eyes.
I like the whole build up. And
it's not scary anymore.
I like the theme that was kind of just mental illness. It wasn't. The Babadook didn't actually exist.
Yeah, no.
That was
and
probably
then
cool.
And then when he did exist, it's like, all right, so they go get a gun with a silver bullet dipped in holy water, and they shoot the guy in the hat.
If he just never existed, that's fine. If he was never shown on camera, where you just saw silhouettes and shit, and her killing the dog and stuff, and it's like it comes out like, yeah, she was just crazy.
Yeah, they were both just crazy.
That'd be a harder thing. It's like, oh fuck, okay, that's dark.
Oh yeah.
Australia, let's go. All right, but no, they're like, we're gonna make it The Conjuring at the end. All right.
I don't know, horror movies as a whole. I don't even know if I like them or not, because all the shit that they introduce is like, this would be befitting of the whole idea of horror is that it's beyond your ability to deal with it, so you have to run and be scared forever. And then you're watching it unfold as an audience, and you don't get to do anything about it because it's a movie, a non-interactive medium. So you just have to be scared for an hour and a half. But when they do it well, in my opinion, it befits other types of narratives where it's like people, I mean, you should either, one, show more of it if you do it well visually, or it should be in a story where people can do something about it so you can see more of it and explore it in a better way.
If you see more of it, then it should be a thing that could be easily dealt with somehow through the movie's logic. And it's like, okay, that could be fun. I don't like that outcome of it. I like horror where it's, especially when it's paranormal. I like it when it's incomprehensibly paranormal.
Oh yeah,
it's fucked up.
Paranormal Activity 1, 2, and 3, where it's like you never see anything. It's just fucking bullshit starts to happen.
But that's terrifying. And the characters trying to solve the issue. I rewatched the movies recently. They don't hold up as well as I thought.
No.
But when I watched them the first time, the things I loved about it was the characters trying to solve it. They're like, baby powder on the ground. Let's see if it walks. Like, maybe we just can't see it, and it walks around, and then they see the footprints, and they're like, fuck.
Shit.
Oh, no, and its feet look fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, okay, now you're just seeing the feet, and you're just visualizing what the thing standing on it is. Horrifying. I imagine the worst thing possible. You never see it, not once. It was cheesy at the end where they just did a face morph on the woman to make her look possessed.
That one, what's that one? Is it called Oculus, about the fucking mirror in the attic that's haunting them? And they try to fucking blow it up, but it just ends up killing the people who try to blow it up because it's haunted. That one, a bit cheesy. I think they revealed something visually at the end. I don't remember exactly. I saw it a long time ago. But the build-up of like, dude, this haunted mirror, we got to do something about this bullshit. It was like the horror equivalent of like Adam Sandler's Click, where once he's stuck in the matrix of it, he can't throw the fucking remote away. He's just got to deal with it. He's got to figure out a way to. He just goes too far, and he's got to figure out a way to deal with it.
The Click is a horror movie.
Click is a horror movie, yeah.
Same way as Forgotten is a horror movie.
Oh yeah, they're concept horror movies.
The
in
police
the
station
sense.
Camera spin around when it's like nothing
What
is
fuck?
real, and then it is sheer terror. You can't trust anything from that point.
No, you can't trust anything.
He runs home to his family. What the fuck? First of all, who are they? It is 2017, and I thought it was 1997. Okay. I like those.
Thank you.
I like that type of horror, and I referenced this book maybe prior on the podcast. I heard someone describe this one book where it's like an alien invasion. It is the most terrifying version of it, where they're just sitting around, and then NASA puts out a press conference saying, all right, so Pluto vanished.
Oh,
and it's like, what do we do with that information? And then they're like, Neptune's gone. And then it's like every planet going in starts vanishing as it gets closer to Earth. And it's like that horror is it's not comprehensible. If it was a big monster, Galactus is coming in and you could have a picture of it.
Oh, yeah.
Not the same.
Oh, we talked about this on the Sci-Fi Sucks episode last year.
Oh, yeah.
I brought, after you brought that up,
yeah.
I said, I was talking about Three Body Problem. Three Body Problem is getting an adaptation on Netflix pretty soon.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, horror is very like the element of the fucking Dracula on a boat movie. I think horror is encapsulated well when the premise that you have to watch is about people who are stuck.
The stuck thing is just no way out.
Like Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan is
also
terrifying. Snowpiercer is not a horror movie, but the idea of like, fuck, dude. Everybody is in this like lateral plane in this world where fucking you can't go outside. It's negative 200 degrees.
The quickest way to make it a thing is being stuck. Because like a lot of ways it's like, get the fuck out of there. What are you doing? And those situations is like, you're here.
Oh yeah, most of like the Conjuring and Insidious ones where it's like, these fucking retards move into a house, and then they choose to stay there after they start getting haunted. It's like I'm no longer rooting for you. Goodbye.
I only liked the last Conjuring movie because it felt epic. It was a little scary from like one jump scare in the whole movie.
Which one was the most recent one that you're talking about? Because there's a whole like verse now.
Oh, yeah, I know. The last one I remember with the trailer was the kid walking down the street covered in blood, and then a police car stops him, and it's based on a true story where the kid murdered like his girlfriend and his girlfriend's dad or something. And the movie kind of absolves him of that murder. That kid's still alive. Don't agree with that so much.
No,
it happened in the 70s. But like the whole plot of it was super sick, where like the two ghost hunter people, the husband and wife combo, they solve the whole thing, and they become powerful.
What? What do you mean like, power? Like
they just
ghost powers?
They just know everything. They're John Wick of ghosts. So they're like, oh, this and this. Oh, the ghost is gonna be here. Let's wipe this fucker out. And then they just do it, and then they do it again and again. I'm like, dude, this is epic. And it's just like, it feels like Indiana Jones and the murder of ghosts. It is insane. They're just going...
That would be a sick title for an Indiana Jones movie. Indiana Jones and the Murder of Ghosts.
It is. They're just going into crypts and places, reading a few things, and the lady's like, oh, I know everything. And the guy says, really? And she's like, grab that book and read it. And he's like, okay. And he reads it, and then things start happening, and then they win every time. You feel no fear for them. It's John Wick.
That's what I think that can be cool too.
Yeah.
I think that aspect, because presenting supernatural stuff or like antagonistic forces, even in things that aren't in horror, but like presenting them as scary to like fight or deal with, befits narrative. You can fight it. It like takes a little bit of tension away. But if they start failing in their most normal efforts, that puts a little bit more tension into the situation, because it's like, oh shit, this thing is now scary again. How are they going to get out of this?
They do that at the end. It's like Mission Impossible, where like they do a lot of cool shit, but then by the end, it's like, we're cutting it close. Those types of feelings. It's like, fuck, they're annihilating everything. And then their best lead turns out to be fake. And it's like,
fuck, dude.
The thing they thought would work doesn't work against the ghosts anymore. It's like, oh shit, here we go.
So
now
they're going up the caliber of demons and stuff until they run into the devil from the Bible.
It's John Wick and the Tears of Christ. That's what it is.
John Wick 5, The Tears of Christ.
Yeah, he's out there just crying on bitches, and taking them out that way. And it was a fun watch. It's less horror than it's not horror. It's Mission Ghosts.
Mission Ghosts?
Yeah, it's Ghost Recon.
Yeah, Ghost Recon, yeah. It's Ghostwire Tokyo, but it's in L.A. It's Ghostwire L.A.
It was a fun watch. There was a lot of, it's just like, it makes you think like, oh, how would I solve this?
The Conjuring universe is getting to a point where I can't keep up with what the fuck is going on.
No, yeah. I didn't watch most of the prior ones.
The Conjuring...
I watched the first two and said...
It's like The Conjuring 1, 2, 3, Annabelle 1, Annabelle 2, The Nun 2.
Oh, I didn't like any of those.
And there's oh, The Nun, actually. Here's a
I watched
funny
all of
little
those
story.
with Phoebe. That was not it was a fun watch, but like not.
The
not
Nun
a good film.
never like scared me as a movie, but I do remember vividly before it came out, when I was like, I think it came out in like 2016 or something. The first one did, so I was like 15 years old. I saw an ad for it on YouTube around like Halloween, and or maybe I was like 14 or something. I don't know. But the point is, I saw an ad for it on YouTube, and it was on my TV. I was like watching. I started getting into like podcasts. I put on like playlists of podcasts so that I could use the TV as like a white noise machine, basically.
Yeah.
And so like a 5-second ad for it comes on, and it just says, "This is an ad for The Nun," and it's a framed painting of The Nun, and I'm sitting in the dark in my room, like on my phone or something, but I'm like kind of looking at the TV, and all I can see in the room, aside from like my phone, is the TV with this 5-second ad, and it's just a frame painting, and then in the last second, it's like it's on a wall, and to the right of it, it's like a light switch. And a hand comes in from the right of frame and flicks the light switch off, and in the dark it turns into like this one frame switch of like a creepy, scary picture of the nun. And in real life, I was like, oh! And then I watched the movie, and it's like, this is not scary.
You know what's scary nowadays? Someone that's actually nailing horror. Kane Pixels on YouTube.
Kane Pixel? What is that?
The guy that did the Backrooms.
Like the
found footage
backrooms.
Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't call it analog horror. I think most analog horror is kind of gay. I don't like most of it. It's just like PowerPoint slides of like this text is spooky. I'm like, yeah, if I think about it.
Oh my gosh, it's a little corrupted. Oh.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of boring.
What is that?
Have you seen the Backrooms?
What is the genre of that? Non-liminal spaces or something?
Yeah. You know the lore of the Backrooms, right?
I don't know. I remember seeing like the fucking 4chan post of it in like 2018.
Okay.
Does it have lore now? I think the whole idea
full of lore.
I think the idea of that by itself is gay.
It is
because you're spawning that whole like analog horror storyline off of
someone's pulling.
Fucking no, they're not. You're spawning that whole thing off of a fucking goofy 4chan post about just
you're
one getting
picture.
Sent to a yellow room now.
It was just a picture of a room.
Yeah,
that's what it was, of an office space that was getting torn down.
Yeah, it was a torn down office space with like dim yellow lighting that was like color graded down so that it looks a little bit unsettling because it's not a place somebody would feel comfortable.
And then it came to the place of like, imagine if this is what the reality was when you clipped out of true reality. Like if it was truly simulation. That's kind of what it was. It was like you'd get clipped into an infinite maze of these rooms. And that's like, this is fucked up. Like, and people had like little mini creepypasta lores about like, how long would you survive? Could you eat the carpet that's on the floor? What would you do?
Could you eat the carpet?
Yeah, it's like all those things. And it's like, fuck. The idea of going to that place and it's an infinite maze, kind of horrifying on its own. But he made a found footage film, and it's really fucking well done.
Is that the one where it's like there's a creature in there?
Yeah, there's a creature in there.
I remember the tagline for that where it's like, if you can hear it but you can't see it, then it can definitely hear you and see you or something like that.
I don't remember there being it was just a YouTube series.
I'm just saying like that's the tagline of like posts people would make about it. If you think you can see it or hear it, it can definitely see you and hear you. So you better run or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I never found. I'll look at what is it called, Kane Pixel or
That's
whatever?
the guy's name. He's actually finally making a full feature film with A24 Films
With
of
A24 Films.
of the Backrooms.
That's cool. I
I'm
hope they
super
don't fuck
excited.
it up by adding blue and purple lighting to it.
It's gonna be very yellow. I promise.
It's going to be two people, and one of them is black and one of them is Mexican, and it turns out they're gay, and then they change the lighting to be blue and purple.
The whole premise of his universe is that the government discovered the Backrooms.
The government did. So
Yeah.
it's like an SCP.
It's kind of like that, where it's like they found this infinite space where you could just store things. So they started like opening it up with a portal constantly.
Ooh.
And then in the lore, like around the 90s, a ton of people went missing. And
They
it's
just get
like
thrown in there.
it's like these little holes started appearing in the world where you could just step wrong and fall into the Backrooms. And then it caused earthquakes, whatever, and this government is trying to control it. And then one of the videos that came out of it was a guy that's doing a student film, and he backs up a few steps and falls. And he falls into the Backrooms.
Ooh.
And he wakes up with the camera still, and he's filming.
Oh, so it's like a found footage
Yeah,
movie.
and he's running around freaking the fuck out, looking at the hallways, thinking he's going insane. And then this thing starts chasing him around the maze.
Oh, okay.
That is the way it's shot. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
No, because I don't keep up with. I don't like shit. Like
He finished the series, and what I wanted to get to after you say your thing, I can't wait to get to it.
I didn't know that was a thing that was happening.
Yeah.
I just remember because I guarantee that his stuff started after it gained traction and became a meme on the internet.
Yeah, of
and I
course.
remember seeing that happen in real time in all the sites that I was browsing and forums and stuff. And I just didn't like the trend of people saying the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again and adding their own bullshit lore to it. It's like, dude, this is a reaction image of a yellow room you share when
Yeah.
you don't like a post on Twitter.
It turned
That's
into,
it.
It turned into it had like over 100 floors to the back room, so you could enter a door, go to a different one, and then it's like, oh, this room's blue.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
that. That's gay. That's stupid.
And then this room looks like a regular neighborhood, and it's like all these little things. He finished the series really well done. There was one like agent that escaped the fucking facility that studies the back rooms, and then the government fucking zeroes him. But his new series is presented like a YouTube channel, like a guy that's just vlogging for like 10 viewers, and it starts off with this guy saying, "Yo, I found something cool in the woods," and he's walking down the trail. And he's like, it should be by this tree. Yep, it's still here. That's insane. And he walks up, and it's a hole in the ground. And then he angles his camera down in the hole, and it's a stairwell that supposedly it looks like it infinitely goes down.
Ooh.
And it looks like it has lights in it, like industrial, really industrial. And he's like, dude, I shouldn't be doing this, but I want to explore it a little bit. And like, I have my camera. I just want to film this and post it on YouTube. Whatever. Like you would, I guess. It's just in the middle. It looks like Thatcher's Park.
Ooh.
It's just he finds this little crack in the ground that he could climb into. And he gets down, and it's this infinite stairwell. He gets to the bottom, and it turns 90 degrees left. And he thinks he's at the bottom. Turns, it's another almost
Infinite stairwell.
He keeps going, and he reaches the bottom. There's a door. Opens the door. Now he's shaky. This is just the first episode. Opens it. It's a weird, like, tiled floor now, and it's like a little... It looks like a fucking murder dungeon. It's like, fuck, this is creepy. He almost leaves. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to stay in. Walks in. There's another door. Walks through it. And then he can't comprehend it at first because his light can't reach that far. It's pitch black. But he starts looking around. It's a regular shopping mall underground.
What?
Yeah, that's the premise. And you could hear distant mall music playing. And
Like
then
like an abandoned mall?
it looks like an empty mall.
Oh,
like
an empty
before
mall.
any
Okay.
stuff got put in there. And
Oh.
he just looks around. He's like, fuck this. Leaves.
Okay.
And then that's the first episode. I'm like, dude.
This stairwells he's going on. Is it like infinite blackness on either side and he has to
No.
like bounce? Okay, it's like it
It
has
has-
walls and
yeah,
stuff.
it
It has
has-
walls and lights and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like a hallway almost that just goes for a long time.
And he's talking the whole way down. It's like a 10-minute section of him just walking down these stairs. And he's
Okay.
like, shit, I hope there's no people here. Like, I don't want to get arrested. I didn't see any trespassing signs, whatever. So he's assuming it's a bunker or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what you're assuming in that first episode.
That can be I think that can be kind of cool.
And then the second episode, he revisits it. He's like, I got to actually enter the mall. And that is my favorite horror once he gets in there. Ooh, it looks so good.
fucking that reminds me. Did you ever get into like SCP cuz I got into like SCP reading stuff.
Unfortunately, that is one thing I didn't get into.
That reminds me of this really good one. I forgot what the number is of it. Like a lot of SCPs, they're fucking stupid bullshit.
It turned into the back
they're like
rooms. That's
they're
what it
like
was.
13-year-old Reddit tier analog horror
It
stories.
was old back rooms, motherfucker.
And these people like to think that they're good at writing, and they're not. But there is this one collective entry called like the Red Pool or like the Blood Pool or something, which is it's just this little pond in like Alaska somewhere in like the middle of a forest, and it never freezes over no matter what phase of the winter is, no matter how cold it gets. And the fucking SCP Foundation finds it, and they're like, shit, what the fuck's going on here? So they build like a little settlement around it, like a little containment unit around it, and then one day they just start sending shit in there, and they're like, all right, well, is this like volcanic? Is it connected to the ocean? Is there a shit in here? And they send a probe, and then it reaches its maximum range, and it's like fucking nothing. So they build like a James Cameron submarine, and like, okay, this manned one has extra pressure walls and a much longer battery and range, and we can connect it to like a 4-mile cord up at the surface.
Right.
So they send it down this thing, and it's like pressure reading is like, oh my god, this thing's about to get crushed. And then right as soon as like they think, oh, we're gonna hit our maximum place, fucking they get sucked down like a mile, and they shoot out really fast. The gravity fucking inverts, and they get sent out into this like mirror dimension where they pop up on the surface. They've lost all contact with the surface team at the base, and it's like, what the fuck? They hop out of the sub, they look down, the sky is red and the pool is blue. And they're like, oh fuck, dude. So they go around, they make a ton of notes. There's footprints on the ground, like, of the area before they got there. And they're like, shit, dude. They take a bunch of notes, they hop back in the sub, and then the one thing SCP does really good is that there's a ton of like redacted shit where like the files just cut out for huge chunks of time. So the rest of the logs are like big chunks of time between like missions to go and see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And then later, team of 60 people with guns this time because
go to war.
because the fucking horror dinosaur that chased us last time out of the mountains needs to be dealt with ASAP. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then all the logs just come back, and it's like survivor's log number 1, survivor's log number 5, survivor's log number 9, and it's always like story. They always come back with like 1 or 2 guys. It's like, why do you keep going? But the horrors that they see just get worse and worse and worse, and it's like as far as you get away from it, the closer you get to like hell or something.
Yeah.
And I liked it because it was you're reading records of it. There's no taking a trench basically good, but you can't take like a camera there or like a microphone or something.
Yeah. Fuck. I like that. That's that's the same kind of energy from what I saw with the backroom films. The backroom
Films.
They're fucking so well done that they might as well be fucking
Clint
films.
Eastwood's The Backroom.
It's like how they were studying them. It's not like it's just below the ground. It is everywhere. It's another dimension. And it almost seems like somebody's trying to mimic humanity in this other realm, but failing at it terribly. So they're making rooms that don't make sense, and then they're making creatures that are almost human there.
Yeah, so you're getting a bunch of Uncanny Valley.
It's
That's the crutch that it always relies on is Uncanny Valley.
it's like a person made out of strings yelling help.
Ooh.
Those types of things. You enter
I turned
a
your
room,
DNA into fruit by the foot.
it's like those types of things is like, oh, that's gross. I don't like how any of that looks. And it's never explained what is doing it and why it's there. And I love that. It's like, fuck. Is it like failed realities, or is it someone else trying to mimic humans? Epic horror. With the new
Horror is
mall
fun.
one. New mall one. You gotta see it. At least the mall one.
I'll get into it here. I'll watch that, and then we'll watch Castlevania and Kung Fu
Alright.
Panda.
Oh, we should watch
Kung Fu Vania.
Kung Fu Vania.
Castle Panda.
Castle Rooms.
Let's watch 50 episodes of Animal Guy.
Kung Fu Castle Rooms.
No. This
Kung Fu Castlebacks.
Halloween is just around the corner, folks.
Yeah.
This is a good Halloween episode. Did I tell you my plan, my costume plan?
Was it still Among Us?
No, it's the Fall Guys. It's the inflatable Fall Guys one.
Oh, shit.
I have a backup plan of a second costume inside of the inflatable one in case they don't let me into clubs or anything because they can't see my face.
They won't.
Yeah, so I'll turn the fucking fan, the inflator fan off, and then unzip it and step out in a different costume.
That's
and then
pretty good.
Everybody who's going to be there is going to be like, "Whoa, what the fuck, dude?"
Dude, if it's a full body one, you're gonna be so hot. You're gonna come out dressed as sweaty man, wet boy,
Sweater man.
fucking just
Collect my 8 pages.
Damn, you dressed like that guy that just went swimming. That's crazy. That's fucking on.
This is
point.
my Michael Phelps costume for Halloween.
This is me going to the shower, but oops, I forgot to take my clothes off, motherfucker. That's me.
I'm wholesome showers in swim trunks, man.
Damn, I'm shower thoughts all the time type of guy.
My Halloween.
I like water.
That's not a Halloween costume. That's just a statement.
Dude, you heard about fish tanks?
No, not the Sam Hyde show. Like the one with the water in it.
The water men.
Yo, dude, waterfalls. That's my
Damn.
shit.
Aquaman. See him before? Me.
That's me, dude.
Yo. Damn. Is there an Amber Heard around here somewhere?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna send out an Amber Alert in a second if I don't fucking find her, bro. That was a weird segment to end that off with.
All right, good night.
Goodbye.
Everybody.
Just Russell.